25 Truths About a Virgo Man in Love and Relationships. Part 2. 11. Big on trust. By nature, we are distrustful and skeptical creatures. Part of this trait can be attributed to our independent nature. It's also because we see everything and can tell when others are being dishonest. That said, when you gain our trust, rest assured that we will reflect honesty back to you in spades. As the relationship continues, the trust deepens. One way to increase the bond you share with a Virgo man is by being completely transparent about your thoughts and feelings. If you hold back, we'll know. 12. We're very loyal. Hand in hand with trust is loyalty. When you are with a Virgo man, he commits to you. Count on him being very devoted. This means emotionally and physically. This is not to say we don't have a wandering eye. We do. And yes, we sometimes become overly flirtatious. But that doesn't mean we cross boundaries and cheat. That's just not who we are. But here is the thing. We expect the people we are with to also be loyal, and place a high premium on this trait. 13. He'll have high standards. A lot of people think Virgos are overly picky. That's a bunch of BS. In truth, we are very discerning and have high standards. Part of this stems from being perfectionists. This doesn't mean we require the finest clothing, or that we're all about expensive cars. Instead, we put a premium on quality. See the difference? When we are together in a romantic relationship, expect to be with a guy who invests in things that are well made and built to last. We also like eating foods that are made from healthy sources and prefer to stick to the basics. 14. He's going to be practical. One of the wonderful things about being with men who are Virgo is knowing they are practical. As an earth sign, we like planning ahead while keeping things uncomplicated. To draw a mental picture, if given a choice between buying you an expensive watch that you might wear once versus a fuel-efficient car you'll drive regularly, we're going to get you the car. Part of being practical, at least for us, is knowing that the decisions we make are well thought out and smart. This can be a pro or a con, depending on how you look at it. But at least you have the real deal now. 15. He's a saver. Remember what I shared earlier about Virgos being worrying? Well, one of the biggest sources of anxiety for us is money. It is for this reason we like to hoard it. No, we aren't cheap. We'll spend money on an expensive meal in a minute, if we think it's of high quality. But because we hold fears about the future, we tend to sock away dollars for a rainy day. You can expect us to have hard cash around, usually in the form of a money market account or a certificate of deposit. It helps us to sleep better at night, knowing we have this financial safety net. 16. We're kind of nerdy. Because we are detail-focused, we tend to live in the minutiae. As a result, we end up being kind of nerdy. For reasons that I don't fully understand, we become obsessed with how things work. If you need someone to research your DNA, a Virgo is an excellent choice. Attracted to guys who are into science and nature. Look no further than men who are born under Mercury's power. Just because we are geeky doesn't mean we show it. We're masters at hiding our interests and obsessions from others. 17. Problems with sleep. Have you slept next to a Virgo man? Did you notice that he does a lot of tossing and turning? Does he seem to struggle with insomnia? If you are answering yes, you've picked up on a lifelong struggle for men who fall under this sign. It sucks because this lack of sleep can affect our mood. The reason we have problems sleeping is because of worry. We can't help it, that's what we do. If you want to help your guy get his ease, consider giving him a rub down before slipping into the sheets. This will help to relax his body and mind, so that he can glide into the land of Nod. 18. Loves giving oral. Women who are paired with a Virgo man will quickly pick up on how the guys enjoy giving oral to their mates. Without going into detail here, I can tell you the men get extremely turned on by using their tongues on certain body parts. The reason for this is simple. The guys use their analytical skills to gauge your reactions and make adjustments accordingly. Did you know that Virgo men become aroused when in the presence of their birthstone, green jade? Yep, it's totally true. In case you are wondering, men who fall under this sign have two erogenous zones, the stomach and chest. Use these to your advantage. 19. We focus on work a lot. Depending on how you look at things, this trait can be good or bad. All I know is that many of us are hard workers and focus on our jobs a lot. Addicted to detail, we tend to become consumed with making sure we are on top of everything at work. The more we can bring our analytical skills to bear, the better. Typical jobs we gravitate towards include psychology, statistician, banking, teaching, data analysis, and research. Believe it or not, we're also great at acting, because it requires us to obsessively study our roles. 20. We have memories like elephants. Part of our psychological makeup is being able to store and then recall events. In practical terms, this means remembering anniversaries, birthdays, and other special occasions. But we also have a tendency to recall things that you say with uncanny accuracy. For example, if you told a Virgo man 10 years ago that you are part Irish and Italian, there's a good chance he's going to remember that. Therefore, it's never a good idea to lie to a Virgo. Once you start having to change stories, he's going to bust you very quickly. 21. We're hypochondriacs. This isn't a positive trait, but it needs to be shared if I'm going to be real about things. While not true for all, most of us are hypochondriacs. Sadly, we often diagnose ourselves with illnesses, sometimes exotic, and tend to overworry about our health. If you are paired with a Virgo man, you'll need to accept this is just part of who he is. Your best bet is to simply deal with it, and occasionally reel him in when he goes overboard. 22. We struggle with guilt. Why we have this trait is somewhat baffling. It's a paradox because our logical minds tell us that we've done nothing wrong, but our anxiety about past actions often gets the best of us. Some men spend their entire lifetimes wishing things could have been different with family relationships or friends. Others blame themselves for things they are not responsible for. The good news is that the guilt we feel makes us more contentious about how we treat others. 23. Very compassionate. This is a universal trait of all Virgos and not just the guys. We are empowered with a chip that makes us care about others. If you are going through a personal problem or experiencing some type of crisis, a Virgo guy is going to be someone you can count on to listen. While not exactly the same, we share this ability to care in ways that are similar to Pisces men. 24. We're all about others. People often forget that Virgo is the sign of service. Think of Mother Teresa. This means that we gain pleasure from helping others, particularly folks in need. One of the challenges with this trait is overcaring and overhelping. This can leave us emotionally depleted and exhausted. If you are with a Virgo man, gently remind him from time to time to focus on self-care. This will be important to his emotional well-being and yours. 25. He likes to travel. If you enjoy taking trips to far-off lands or exotic places, your male Virgo companion will always be down. As an earth sign, the men tend to gravitate towards the outdoors. Here, we're talking about destinations where land and sea are part of the dynamic. Camping and hiking are also favorites of this sign. Just remember, planning is key. Spontaneous trips are okay, but the guys much prefer putting together an itinerary. It helps them feel less anxious and more in control. Wrap up. Dating a Virgo man isn't all that complicated. We are practical creatures by nature and in tune with the earth. Some have accused us of being self-absorbed and overly negative. Others think we nag too much. Let me assure you that none of it is true. The reality is we're just like everyone else. The only real difference is that we worry a lot and tend to overanalyze.